Good morning. My name is David McFadden. I'm the president of Eastern Kentucky University, and welcome to the Manchester Center, the Robert Stivers building here in Manchester. We are so excited to be here to kick off 2022 with you this morning with an amazing announcement about the intersection of education and workforce and innovation and transformation. We are excited to have a group of distinguished individuals with us this morning to talk about this opportunity for this community, but not just for this community, but for all of Appalachia as we think about the transformation of the region that we call home. It was truly inspiring this morning to come in, to see the snow-covered hills and to see and to know that we live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. And we are blessed to be here this morning. We are very thankful to have many of our elected officials here with us this morning. Good to see my good friend Rocky Atkins with us this morning. And we are going to hear this morning from our good friends and partners at Appharvest, Volunteers of America, and Advent Health this morning to launch our initiative. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Jennifer Hancock. She's going to MC the rest of our event today. Jacqueline.
For your leadership and your support for these projects, and for you, Terry Gray, I always have to find you in this crowd, for hosting us again today on this beautiful campus. So good morning, friends, and Happy New Year. It is so great to be back again just 2 weeks after an announcement of a $1.5 million workforce reentry grant. We're actually launching that later this month. And now you're going to hear about 2 more wonderful projects that will add even more jobs. I see some of our elected officials here, so I want to take a moment to thank you, Judge Johnson. I know some of our magistrates and city council members are here. Our county attorney, Joe White, is here. I saw him come in. Representative Derek Lewis is here. Judge Gabbard from Jackson, Paul Durham, our PBA. And of course, Rocky Atkins. We cannot do this without you and would not be here without you and all of the leaders here in this room. So please join me in recognizing and thanking them this morning. You know, as we had promoted, we expected the governor with us this morning. But as has been the theme of his time in office, he is responding to yet another crisis this morning. The tornadoes that hit over the weekend has taken his time and attention very understandably, but we are so lucky that our Lieutenant Governor, Jacqueline Coleman, changed her schedule to pivot to be here with us this morning. The Lieutenant Governor and the Governor have been crisis managers since they started, and I want to thank both of them for their tremendous leadership. Team Kentucky is committed to innovative projects. This announcement today is just further proof. And we know that while there may be differences on how we get there, that Team Kentucky and every leader in this room share a common goal: making life better for everyone in Kentucky. The Lieutenant Governor was with us in Frankfort in November when we announced a new integrated model between VOA and the Department for Community-Based Services. Clay County is a key part of this pilot, and we're hiring an expert in substance use disorder to work alongside Helen Baker and her DCBS team. The Lieutenant Governor and this administration are champions for this kind of public-private partnership, and they have shown us that they will do what it takes to join forces with leaders like you see here today to set the right priorities and fight for the people of Clay County and southeastern Kentucky. I am incredibly proud that Volunteers of America can be a partner in this bipartisanship collaboration. So please join me now in welcoming our Lieutenant Governor, Jacqueline Coleman.
And Jennifer as well. And as she mentioned, the governor is in fact surveying more damage that has happened after the storms over the weekend. And so I appreciate the warm welcome here today. Before I begin, I want to talk just a moment about the tragedies that our Commonwealth has faced over the last several weeks. And I know that this area was also hit hard by the storms over the weekend. And if you are one of those people who were affected by those storms, please know that Team Kentucky is with you, and we will be with you to help rebuild and recover as well. The tornadoes that hit in the past 3 weeks have caused so much destruction, mainly through western Kentucky and into parts of central Kentucky, and they're the worst that we've seen in history. And I know that the damage that we've seen in so many ways is almost indescribable. In an instant, we saw our friends and our family lose what they worked a lifetime to save. And our communities were made unrecognizable and really uninhabitable by these storms. But worst of all, we lost 77 Kentuckians. And while this can leave all of us distraught and mentally drained and grief-stricken, I can attest that I share those emotions and those feelings, certainly. But I'm happy to say that the only thing that rivals the destruction that we've seen in the last few weeks is the Team Kentucky spirit. And I have done more national interviews in the last few weeks than I've done in the last 2 years. And at the end of every one of them, the reporters and the producers always say to me, man, Kentucky's a special place. We are seeing people come together like we've never seen before in times of tragedy. And I think about how proud that makes me, that in the worst of times we know that we will be there for each other. And while it's amazing, it certainly is not surprising, because we all know that what makes Team Kentucky so special is our people. And it is that Team Kentucky spirit that will bring us through this tragedy and continued tragedies. So with that said, let me just say, Senator Stivers, it is great to be here with you in your home city to make some exciting announcements for Clay County and southeastern Kentucky. I want to say a special thank you to Danielle Smoot with Congressman Hal Rogers' office for your support in these new partnerships and the leaders who helped make it possible. And some of those include, of course, Jennifer Hancock from Volunteers for America, Jonathan Webb with Appharvest, Colby Hall with SOAR. Is Colby here? I thought I saw him. Yes, Colby's here. Mayor Garrison right here in Manchester, Jamie Couch with Advent Health in Manchester. And let me just say again, Governor Beshear asked me to pass along his regards to all of you. He wishes that he could be here with you today. I can guarantee you he would much rather be celebrating these great announcements today. But he trusted that you would be okay with a rural Kentucky girl from one of Kentucky's smallest towns. So I'll do my best. But I come to you at a time in our country, and certainly in this Commonwealth, that is marked by a very rigid dichotomy. We are still living through the uncertainty of this global pandemic. Unfortunately, I know we all thought we would be through this by now. And we continue to losing Kentuckians to this disease every single day. And while we've done a fairly good job as a state at mitigating this awful disease, we continue to see the effects of it tear at the fabric of our society. And despite these challenges, we are experiencing economic growth like I have never seen, because Kentucky's economy is on fire. Businesses are locating to and investing in Kentucky at historic rates. The governor and I are making new jobs announcements every single week all across the Commonwealth. In 2021, we shattered every single economic development record on the books. We attracted $11.2 billion worth of investments. So what does that mean? That means that we have created more than 18,000 quality, high-paying jobs for Kentucky families. And that is what we're all here to make sure that we can continue to do. And these announcements are not just confined to our largest cities. Economic opportunity is coming from all corners of the Commonwealth. In southeastern Kentucky, we have had some really exciting announcements already, from Firestone Industrial Products in Whitley County, from Horse Soldier Bourbon, Connor Logistics, Continental Refining, and AHF Products in Pulaski County, and Chapin International in Rockcastle County, just to name a few. These are transformational investments that cement Kentucky as a global leader. We have the momentum, and we're going to keep building on it for every community across this Commonwealth. And that is why we are investing in 2 innovative partnerships, and we're here to celebrate those in Manchester today. You're going to hear even more details from Jennifer Hancock in just a few minutes. But here's what I want everyone to remember about it. The Let Us Grow project and the Downtown Manchester Economic Development Project are both going to encourage investment in this region, create jobs, and boost tourism while also supporting our environment. That's why, along with Congressman Hal Rogers, I am proud to present a check for $700,000 to Volunteers of America Mid-States from the Abandoned Mine Land Economic Revitalization, or AML Pilot Projects program to help fund Let Us Grow, a partnership between VOA Mid-States, Appharvest, SOAR, and the City of Manchester. So Jennifer, would you please join me to accept this check along with Appharvest, Colby Hall, Mayor Garrison, and President Stivers. Thank you so much. I was a teacher before I became lieutenant governor, so I'm pretty sure I've never held a check that large in my life. So Governor Beshear has also recommended that the Appalachian Regional Commission approve $977,754 to support the Downtown Manchester Economic Development Project, a partnership between VOA Mid-States, Advent Health, Manchester, and other community-based Clay County organizations. So Jennifer, go back up here. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
So thank you all again. I cannot wait for everyone to hear about more of these projects that will directly have an impact on this community. So today we also have some great news that will boost safety and security in Clay County and in Jackson County as well. Early on in our administration, Governor Beshear tasked our engineers at the Kentucky Transportation Department to look at our roadways all across the Commonwealth to determine those that were in the greatest need of upgrades and repairs. That list in hand, we have been awarding millions of dollars in discretionary funding to make these improvements come to life. And today I get to announce 3 of them right here. First up, we are awarding $23,800 to resurface Sister Hollow Road off US 421 north of Manchester. Next, we have an award of $104,125 to resurface Curry Branch Road. And I would like to go ahead and call up the Clay County Judge Executive Johnson to join me to accept these checks. And finally, we are awarding nearly $81,660 to resurface Swindling Hollow Road near Anvil in Jackson County. So would Judge Executive Gabbard join me to accept the check, Speaker? It's right there. Come on up. portion today, I just want to remind everybody that on Team Kentucky, what we know is that when we work together, great things are possible. We can solve our biggest problems by coming together, especially when it comes to these investments. And as we continue to work to build a better Kentucky for everyone, we are proving that every single day. So thank you all so much, and God bless the Commonwealth.
What an exciting way to start this year. Before I introduce our next speaker, I just want to share a little bit more about what you just heard. So you know at Volunteers of America, we are about real change and proven results. And the projects just announced show you that you can make real and lasting change acre by acre, building by building, and block by block. That has been our approach over the past 4 years that we've been here. Let Us Grow is an innovative partnership that brings high-tech agriculture right here to Clay County. We've been looking for ways to bring Appharvest here for a while now, and I have to thank my friend Josh Ball, the COO from SOAR, who created this concept and brought it to me late last year that enabled us to submit this for the AML grant. So thank you so much, Josh, for your thought leadership on this project. And Christy Putnam and Matt Gosnell, who have spent countless hours strategizing with us about ways to bring this partnership to life. Like the governor and the lieutenant governor, Appharvest founder and CEO Jonathan Webb, or like the governor, who cannot be here with us today, Jonathan Webb was hoping to be here, but he too is responding to weather challenges. I'm sorry you won't get to hear from him directly because he is a Kentuckian fighting for the people of Kentucky. And he's a national leader of innovative, forward-thinking agriculture that not only puts people back to work, but puts our environment first. So let me just tell you what Let Us Grow means for Clay County. Jobs. We simply cannot make progress together if we don't put people back to work. Let Us Grow will be staffed by ag tech professionals and educators, and also will provide employment and education to an ongoing roster of students and trainees. Sustainability. In a world with an exploding population and finite resources, we need to ensure our local farmers are supported and sustained, and at the same time pursue innovations. Appharvest puts Kentucky at the forefront of ag innovation. Clay County will be yet another demonstration for how you can produce more high-quality food using less land and less water. Tourism. This project will show what can be done with a former mine site in a beautiful part of our Commonwealth that can attract visitors who want to learn more and see how it's done. I'm so glad to have people like Tim Parks, Mike Flying Buck Stivers, and Randy Kraft who are here so that we can think about how to continue to assemble all of these puzzle pieces to get more people to take the Parkway and spend some time and money right here in Clay County. And finally, this project is about hope. VOA will work with Appharvest to move people in recovery, individuals and family members looking for a second chance, into productive jobs. Just before Christmas, we announced right here the Workforce Opportunities for Rural Communities grant, and it has the same goal. Take people who are ready to train, learn, and work, and make sure they have a way to be productive right here. What a powerful combination. Jobs, sustainability, tourism, which all adds up to hope. And that's what Let Us Grow means to me. We absolutely cannot wait to get started. And the other project that you heard the Lieutenant Governor announce is one that I'm also truly excited about. VOA would not be here without a strong healthcare partner. Where would we deliver our babies? Down at Freedom House in Burning Springs. We definitely have that in Advent Health. But they are so much more than a healthcare system, and you know that. Advent is a community treasure and community leader, and our collaboration with them on this project will continue to transform the economics and the dynamics downtown. The project will create a cornerstone for downtown revitalization through the rehabilitation of the 8,600 square foot building on Main Street. will turn something that is vacant and useless today into a beautiful multi-purpose building. VOA's Mountain Market, our social enterprise that features the work of Appalachian artists and artisans, will be a prominent presence on the first floor. We'll also partner with a restaurant there. And we'll put offices and residences on the second floor, putting people to work and creating activity and excitement right there on Main Street. So Andrew Carnegie said, teamwork is the fuel that allows common people to get uncommon results. So I'll leave you with this promise. VOA is committed to uncommon results that give all of us a better Clay County and a stronger southeastern Kentucky. What a wonderful way for us to kick off this new year together. So thank you everyone for allowing VOA to be a part of this amazing community. Thank you so much. We were honored to have Congressman Rogers with us to announce the Workforce Reentry Grant. It's just that type of program that he has championed in his 40 years of public service. And we look forward to him, to working with him on these projects that were announced today. So we were going to have someone who is no stranger to Clay County with us, Karen Kelly. You've known her from her days at Operation Unite when she was here on the ground fighting against substance use disorder. She called me this morning and told me she is stuck in Minneapolis and her plane won't let her leave. But we are very fortunate to have the communications director for the Congressman's office, Danielle Smoot, who is with us to give her perspective on behalf of the Congressman. So please help us welcome her today.
Start off the year with some good news in the middle of some of the chaos that we've faced recently. Congressman Rogers asked me to be here in his stead as he prepares to head back to Washington to advocate for the people of Clay County. My dad is actually a Clay Countyman, so I love you guys. Like, I'm one of you. My grandparents were longtime members of Clay County. James Phillips would go to their house all the time. My grandma made him peanut butter fudge rolls. So. So I love you all. But I want to give you just a little bit of the history on the funding that's coming down to help these projects, specifically the Let Us Grow project. Congressman Rogers, while he was chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, back in 2016, created a pilot program called the Abandoned Minelands Pilot Program to help reinvest back into our coal communities. That program has become so successful over the last 6 years that $540 million has been secured for the hardest hit coal mining states. $130 million of that has come straight to Kentucky. Now 2 of those projects are right here in Clay County, one being the Let Us Grow project, and one just being down the road at the Impact Outdoor Adventures, your RV campground. So we are glad to see how that maps straight down from Washington, D.C. into Manchester, Kentucky. And I love being able to celebrate that with you today. But aside from that, both of these projects, both the Downtown project and the Let Us Grow project, the thing that really makes that special is VOA and the partnerships that are very unique that we're talking about today between the hospital and Appharvest and VOA, and then of course with the state and local leadership as well. Aside from those partnerships, the really special thing about these projects is that we are reinvesting in the recovery community, and that both of these projects are helping give people a second chance. And we know that Clay County is one of the best places to do that. You all have championed that since 2003, whenever you marched down Main Street and you did that drug rally and you said, we are taking back this community. Congressman Rogers was there that day in the pouring rain. Karen Kelly was there that day in the pouring rain. Ken Boland, and so many of you I know participated that day. This is very reflective that you all are committed to continuing that work and continuing to give people a second chance in life to get back on their feet and to have new opportunities and new jobs. So on behalf of Congressman Rogers, I just want to say that we believe in you, we believe in what you're doing, and we are so thankful to be a part of this community. And if we can ever be of help to you, please let us know. Carlos Cameron is here with us today too. He is our Deputy District Director. He has adopted Clay County as his own. You all know him. But we are just a phone call away. We are just an office visit away, and we want to help you any way that we can. So thank you so much.
So as you've heard, Appharvest is committed to making Kentucky and Appalachia a high-tech farming hub. Our pursuit of the funding for this project is all about protecting our natural resources, putting people to work, and showing what this region is capable of doing when we work together. I'm thrilled to partner with the Appharvest team, and while Jonathan can't be here today, we have a key part of this team and the person I mentioned earlier who's been our partner for a long time, Chief of Staff Christy Putnam. I've known Christy since she served as the Deputy Secretary for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. She is forward-thinking, a thought leader who has persistently looked for ways to make a VOA Appharvest Clay County partnership work. So please help me welcome her back today. Thank you, Christy, for being here.
Happy New Year and happy Monday. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with everyone today. Jonathan Webb does send his regrets. He was unfortunately unable to make it last minute as well. But I have to say I'm very excited to be here. As Jennifer noted, she and I have had the opportunity to work together on several different occasions in several different capacities. I have a number of friends who are still scratching their heads and wondering, how do you go from the Cabinet for Health and Family Services to high-tech agriculture? For me, it's all about purpose. And it's all about having a sustainable path forward and being able to see where you're going next. I think that the team at Volunteers for America, certainly the governor's office, President Stivers, the local and state officials here have that vision for Clay County, and I'm excited that Appharvest is able to be a part of it. So thank you for the opportunity. I'd also like to thank Congressman Hal Rogers for his leadership in establishing the AML pilot program, which has given us all the chance to be here today. As Jennifer noted at Appharvest and with the Let Us Grow project, we are all about second chances. And specifically at Appharvest, we're very committed to the prospect of being a second chance employer. We do have a number of our employees at our first farm in Moorhead, our flagship facility in Moorhead, who are in active recovery that we employ as part of our workforce. And we're very proud of that. We want to continue to grow that as well. We're very excited to partner with VOA to provide hands-on educational experience that aligns with our mission to bring good jobs to Kentucky and Central Appalachia. Growing our economy and providing new and better opportunities, especially for those working hard to recover from addiction, are things we can all get behind. And again, I'd like to thank our state and local leaders for getting behind that concept with this particular project. These are issues that know no party and know no politics. It's just about caring about our people and investing in futures. It's exciting to think that some of the people who come here to Manchester, some of the women who come to Freedom House, participate in the program, could come join our team at our farm in Moorhead, or our new farms opening this year in Berea, Richmond, and Somerset. We do plan to continue building and expanding our high-tech indoor farm network and work to build a hub of sustainable agriculture nurtured by technology right here in this region. And as the grant says, and we share this goal for Kentucky, let us grow. We're excited and privileged to be a part of it. Thank you again very much.
I am very proud to serve on the board of directors at Advent Health. And because of that, I get a front row seat in witnessing the first-class healthcare heroes and leaders that are right here. That includes leaders like Jamie Couch. When Chris Self left us for Georgia, he knew that Jamie would stand in the gap on this project along with Randy and Crystal Day and so many others who are in the trenches with us day to day. Jamie is smart and passionate, and he has not allowed the COVID pandemic to slow him down from looking for ways to grow Advent's presence, including in this very creative way. In fact, it seems that the pandemic has emboldened him to do even more. So thank you, Jamie, for all that you do for Advent and for the community on behalf of all of us. Let's hear from you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. If there's anything good going on, Jennifer's probably somewhere behind it. in the middle of it. So thank you for your leadership, for all that you've done for this. Also, thanks for all the support that made these grants and awards today possible. It takes a team. Extremely excited. What a way to start out a brand new year. 2021 was tough. 2022 is going to be tough too. But with a team like this, looking forward, I believe that we can accomplish great things. The health of a community, it goes way beyond healthcare. Way beyond healthcare. A healthy community experiences social, emotional, spiritual, and economic health. It's more than just health care. Our previous CEO, and you mentioned it, Jennifer Crisell, I call him the father of the downtown project, was a visionary. We stood with him on the street corner as he began to point up the road and say, "That's what I see." I'm going to be very honest, I didn't see what Chris saw that day. But the more he said it, the more he told the story, the more he framed it, I began to see it. He walked in the office one day with a big diagram, and he said, "This is it. This is what I've been talking about." I said, "All right, Chris, thank you." That visionary experience, he said this, he said, "For the hospital to do good, a community must do well." For a hospital to do good, a community must do well. And I took that, jotted it down, I put it down in my notebook to keep forever, because that's a mission statement for all of us. And the reality is this, is that in rural America, healthcare sustainability is dependent on the health of the community. So why are we involved in so many different things and bringing teams together? Because our vitality depends on the health of the whole community. In 1892, Mark Twain's novel, The American Claimant, he attributed Dr. Matthew Fleming Stevenson was saying, "There's gold in them there hills." Don't know if he actually said that. That's what Mark Twain said, so we're going with it. Dr. Stevenson was talking to a group in North Georgia, Appalachian Mountains, that were threatening leaving to go to California to the gold rush. And he stood there on the street that day and spoke to that group, and he said, "There's gold in them there hills." As I began to think about this day, I thought about that statement came to my mind. But we got gold in these hills, and it's not the mineral, it's the people. It's the culture of love, grit, resiliency, determination, and innovation. We do have gold in these hills. What these awards have in common is this one common thread, and that is that it empowers the capable facilitators to do the work of uncovering the gold in these hills. From the downtown building that will host innovation and design thinking workshops and office space, small businesses, provide commerce, jobs, and recovery housing, to the economic engine of Appharvest and the road work that's going to make our roads easier to travel and function. These funded initiatives are a part of a much larger movement. In the words of Dr. Stevenson, there's gold in them hills. There's gold in these hills. And so I just want to say, all of us are always better than one of us. So let's together drive forward in this collective journey for whole person wellness for this community. And thank you. Appreciate you.
So 2 weeks ago, I said some people need no introduction, and obviously that's still true today, but I'm going to do it again anyways and say just a few words about President Stivers. You know him to be steadfast in his commitment to making his hometown healthier in every way possible. As VOA has added more than 40 new jobs here and created a number of public-private partnerships with your help, including the ones announced today, President Stivers' unique understanding of how to work cross-sector to bring everyone together is absolutely essential. He rolls up his sleeves, often more as your neighbor, trying to get things done than even as Senate President. Both roles are important to what we are accomplishing here. So thank you, President Stivers, for all that you do for us. And you do so well wrapping things up. So we're going to give you the final word today. Let's welcome him.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank everyone for coming out. I made sure I had my EKU mask, but if there's any UK fans, I had that one too in my pocket. Make sure everybody's satisfied with these things. I'm going to close this out, but I want to talk a few things about the past. And I'm going to look over at James Phillips. Where are you, James? His daughter is now at the University of Louisville. We won't say too much about that, but there was an article, James, that you always bring us back to, written in the Atlantic, talking about how Manchester was the hardest place in the United States to live and grow up. Well, that started a little bit of a fire under some people, similar to what I think happened back in 2003, Ken Bowen's, others saying, we've got to change the culture of what's going on with drugs. So through this, several things were done because of these articles. And people started looking around. A lady came in and did some evaluations and said, look, if y'all don't change what you're doing, your community's going to die. And we've lost a lot of jobs because of the coal industry, the economic changes because of the coal industry. People have moved on to other places we haven't kept up. So a group of us came together a couple of years ago, and we started talking about how do we change it? What do we do? Let's get in the 21st century. Let's talk about connectivity. Let's talk about substance use disorder. Let's talk about transitional housing. Let's talk about creation of jobs. Let's talk about tourism. Let's talk about what does our town look like? Not just from what people think, but aesthetically, when you drive through it, what does it look like? So there's a large group that came together one night. I think it was probably close to 90, and we talked about all this. And then smaller groups formed. You know, my partner in Frankfurt, Derek Lewis, I have met with individuals about these ideas and initiatives. And I can't say enough for what Derek has done to work with me in various things in his short career there. But we came together and started talking about what will change Manchester and Clay County. A couple weeks ago, you saw one of them, $1.5 million grant. It's going to go to help put people back into the workforce on a regional basis. But you haven't seen a lot of other things because what we did, I see Tal and Colby and Josh has been mentioned. We brought individuals in. We brought Allison Davis in from the University of Kentucky. We brought the SOAR group in. We brought former people who had expertise in grant writing. We worked with the city and the county. I see Clyde Phillips here. Because of this work, he's been able to add additional contracts, hire additional people. VOA came in, 40 new jobs. The teleworks, Pam, that's gone on here, 60 and 70 new jobs that were created with 80% retention. And then all the positive press about how we're staying in Clay, Vanda, how we're promoting the tourism, Tim, how we're doing things to change, which leads up to today. Today, with Let Us Grow. And some people, I looked and I thought, let us grow, that's pretty nifty. Let us, is it L-E-T-U-S or L-E-T-T-U-C-E? So, you know, that is one, $700,000. And then the other is $970 to start changing how literally we look in downtown Manchester. A building directly across from my law office that I can't remember being open, and I'm 60. I can't remember that building being open. It's going to be made useful, and it's going to create both, are going to create jobs and opportunity. And I have to thank the fiscal court, and people need to understand The hospital put up money for this, VOA put up money for this, they donated land, the fiscal court came through to make some monies available out of severance tax to make this project go. That it will employ people, it will change the look of downtown Manchester, which is a first step. But that is one of many things. We've changed the health care because the hospital has added more jobs. They've expanded their footprint. They have located, and we have expanded the footprint of Redbird and the dental clinic and all they're doing there. And you have to understand the scope of that because this all grew out of a people coming together thinking about how we change Manchester and Clay County. So with that, Chris Self, myself, and Jennifer Hancock sat down with the governor's office, and we talked about the grand plans we had. And we looked through them. Rocky was there. Lieutenant Governor was there. The DLG Commissioner was there, Dennis King. Now, I know I'm being a little bit long, but even though I may be long, I'm not going to be pointless. Based on that, slowness of COVID, if it had not, and people know me to be pretty plain spoken, if it had not been for Rocky Atkins, Commissioner King, and the governor's office, these projects would not have come today, period. The funding through the AML program, through Congressman Rogers' office coming back to the governor's office would not be available. But truly, but for the efforts of the individuals that all came together, from here at the local level, to the work that we did, and there is much more to come beyond this, to the help from the governor's office, Rocky Atkins, Commissioner King, helping us put everything into a neat package, none of this would have happened, period. As the Lieutenant Governor said, you know, this is something we come together because it's not about politics, it's about our people. So what a great way to start off the new year with an announcement, which again is the third announcement, but will not be the last announcement this year. Trust me. I can guarantee you that, and in 26 years in the legislature, I haven't guaranteed much, but there will be more. Why? Because as we sat there, Rocky, we told you it's that day in the governor's office. We're going to change the landscape. We're going to change the trajectory. And we're definitely, James Phillips, changing the narrative for this town, this county, and this region. And that's why this announcement, with all the people, the congressman and the governor's office help, is a great way to start the new year. Thank you all.
I think we've heard it all. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for helping us celebrate, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much.